Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hello. This is Halconia, your friendly gamer. Today I decided to try something a little bit different today. I've started going through and looking at some self-improvement videos. Okay, good. Volume sounds good. Also, let me silence Discord. There, that should work. Okay, so I've been going through and watching some self-improvement videos a little bit, and there's a couple of channels that have really inspired me, and they've actually really gotten me thinking about things. Things that, yes, sometimes they make sense, but other times you just don't necessarily think about it until somebody brings it to your attention. Now, lately, I've been playing Digimon. Now, a little bit of history. So, Digimon started out in the 1990s, and if you don't know anything about it, it started along the same time frame as Pokemon, where you have these little partner companions with you that are animals that they change and transform as they get better and get more experience in life, and they help the protagonist overcome their obstacles and save the day. Now, the original Digimon franchise started in my young childhood in 1990s, and I loved that series. So much so that I actually started watching it again with my family. Well, let's turn all those off. Oh, there we go. So, I've started rewatching the series. And on top of rewatching the series, I was going through and watching some of these self-improvement videos. Particularly, there's a couple of channels that have really stuck out to me. And those channels, I've linked in the descriptions below. One is Aim for Catharsis. Specifically, his video on the Dark Souls mindset I will take to my grave. Now, that one was a very good way. He put that into such good words on how playing Dark Souls helped inspire his mindset in life on how to get better. And the second video that really helped inspire me was the channel Souls Improvement. That guy, the dedication he puts into his channel is phenomenal. I mean, he played Dark Souls, and you'll see in some of the comments, you're like, this guy played Dark Souls and received enlightenment from this. But it's absolutely amazing the way that this guy works. And the way that he puts these thoughts into words for the rest of us through the lens of Dark Souls and playing games. And that got me thinking, how can I do something similar with other games? That had been a dream of mine for a while. And so I decided to try that. And I got to thinking today in the terms of Digimon, where I'd been watching Digimon for years, and I, over the recent years, picked up a couple other games. The first one being Cyber Sleuth. That was their first big RPG-style free roam game, and I loved it. And then this past year, they released the new Digimon story, Time Stranger. And that's the game that you see in the background right now. Time Stranger is basically they did everything from Cyber Sleuth, but better. And I got to thinking as I'm going through this, I've only put a few hours into this game already, but the idea that the Digimon, they only get better as you work on them, as you help them progress. Now, with us in our lives, it's important to work hard, get better, and everybody's goal is to just keep pushing forwards. Move on, push forwards, get better, reach your favorite goals. But so often people don't achieve their goals the way they want to. And sadly, sometimes that means that they actually revert back to an older lifestyle that they were trying to get away from. Well, so often when people revert back to a former way of living, they see that as a defeat. I know for me, myself, it's like, if only I could get stronger and healthier, I could overcome this health issue. But then I don't. And instead, it seems like I take 2 steps back for the 1 step forward that I did take. Well, Digimon really helped me see it's okay to take a step back, because sometimes you have to take a step back in order to go forwards. Now, one big part of Digimon is the Digivolutions and De-Digivolutions. Now, put that into perspective. This here, my Snow Goblinmon. To Digivolve him and make him stronger, he has to meet all these requirements over here for any one of these Digivolutions to get better. He started out as this little guy, a Dorimon. Now, I could wait until this guy gets stronger and transform him into one of those people based on these stats there. But this blue number, it goes up based on the bond percentage, or the percentage of how much bond the Digimon has with me, the trainer. And that goes up even if you de-digivolve him into a weaker form. And sometimes it's important to understand you have to take a step back to then go forwards stronger than you were before. And another really important part is, when you take your step back and you de-digivolve into the weaker form, it's not a loss. You're not wasting your time, wasting your life. Sometimes you have to step back in order to reach the goal that you were wanting before. This guy, he stepped back, he got a little bit stronger. And now, he's just a little in-training Digimon. Usually pretty weak. But I can now work on training him and strengthening him to, he was the Snow Goblinmon. I can now use him to advance into something undiscovered. I strengthen his attack, suddenly he becomes even stronger than before. And to show you that, you can enhance him. Now, to enhance something, you need to use characters that fit what he's needing. So, I'm needing to strengthen his attack. So I need to utilize creatures that would have, theoretically, a higher attack. But I don't have a lot of extras, so I gotta use what I'm able to. So we'll start with those two. Training him. His attack reads 230. I need it to be 260. So I need to train him even more. Alright, so I need to train. You know what? Let's load up some more. Because all this experience is going to help him. And you know what? We're going to load up this guy too. And sometimes you have to take something in your life that maybe you want to hold on to it, but you aren't sure of what use it's going to have and how it's going to help you. Well, sometimes you have to let go of something to get stronger. And now he's reached the point. And once you get him stronger, then you can upgrade him into something that you have not even seen before. And you don't know what the possibilities can lead to. It's okay to step back as long as you don't lose sight of going forwards. Just like that, we got an even stronger Digimon than we did before. And then, come over here and strengthen your lineup. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll put Bakumon back over, or yeah, Bukamon back over there. So, always remember, even if you have to step back, it's not the end. It's not... Just because you step backwards doesn't mean you can't keep moving forwards. Sometimes you have to step backwards in order to get the strength to move forwards beyond where you once were. Now, in the description, I shouted out a couple of other channels, and specifically a couple of videos that I was listening to today. And it's like, you know, what we listen to will actually help shape who we become and shape our view of things. And as I was driving down the road today, I was listening to these two videos, and along with a whole bunch of others, but these two specifically, these two songs by this one artist, Yosef. He's a phenomenal artist. His music, it's always amazing. They all have different messages to them. If you really listen, at first glance, when you're listening to songs, you might just get caught up in the music and say, yeah, that was a fun song. I enjoyed the beat, the music, it was good. But you might miss the message if you don't really stop and think and listen. This first one here that I'm going to play, yeah, this first one here, it was done by Yosef and Rory Hope. It's called The Key. And let me just pop this up here real quick. Here we go. So you see that he's saying you can use it as long as you give him a shout out. And this video, or this song, it was really cool being able to listen to it with a new perspective. Specifically, as I'm going through here, let's see, what was it? Well, I'll just play it for you so that you can kind of get a feel for the first part that really spoke to me as I'm listening to it. Realized I don't think there's volume on there. 1 second here. Oh, I know why. Okay, 1 second here. Are y'all still able to hear me? Oh, wait. That would explain it. Every now and then I try to check my volume through my phone's YouTube while I am, there we go, while I am paying attention to my other video that I'm working on, just to make sure that the sound quality is good. Let's see here. Is this going to work for me? Well, it doesn't have sound, which, I mean, that's sad for you guys because the song's amazing, but I'll at least let the words come up on the screen. Because it's talking about when you're in a tough spot, you just got to keep going. And when you're sinking in the waters, sometimes you got to dive down deep into the darkness. And I think of it as swimming in, if you're in a swimming pool, when I'm diving, before I go up to the surface, I plant my feet on the bottom of the swimming pool and use that to push myself up to the surface. Sometimes to get up to where you need to go, you realize you got to sink down, and then you can use that rock bottom that you feel, as the motivation to propel yourself forwards. Give this song a a view. It is absolutely phenomenal. The next one, oddly enough, it's called The Angel of Death. Now let me pull up this here. Just make sure to mention my name and the song name in the description. So once again, Jim Yosef, Angel of Death featuring Scarlet. Another really fun song. This one also has a very interesting message that might I overlooked it the first several times that I listened to it, and I'll only watch a little bit with you first. So, okay, so that first part there, it's like when you're trying to do something and you keep falling down, keep falling back. Our first instinct is we want to be able to blame it on something else that's not us, but ultimately, it's our decision. It's our choices that lead us to where we are. And if you can't embrace that and realize everything is my choice, I have to choose what to do next, then that's when it might be time to de-digivolve. Go back a step and regain more experience, regain that maturity so that you can push forwards. We've all been in the part where you get so nervous, you feel your heart beating, and you just feel like you're losing control. Now, once again, give this song a listen to. It's a really good one. This up here is the chorus, and this part mixed with that little bridge, this one really actually really spoke to me today. It's like you see the judgment coming for you, and you're just hoping that you can make it through, but you don't know if you're going to be able to outrun the judgment. You don't know how long you'll be able to work, how long you'll be able to last, and finally it'll catch up to you. You have to understand that you you have to take responsibility for your actions. You have to be able to reach that maturity and pursue your dreams, but with a healthy mindset. Now, just so you can view it, here's the one channel I showed, Soul's Improvement. This guy's amazing. Give him a listen to. Even if you're falling asleep, I've listened to his videos while I'm falling asleep sometimes because it's so helpful and it really does impact the mindset. And the other one, Aim for Catharsis. Now, some closing thoughts on here that I understand sometimes I am not the greatest at all of these videos. I've been trying, I really have, but I always had a dream of using videos to help you basically find new ways to look at life using video games. And when I started that journey of trying to come up with stuff like that, I always had mixed reviews from my friends when I was thinking about it, trying to pitch the ideas to them. Some were like, "Yeah, go for it." Others like, "Dude, nobody's gonna listen to that stuff." And so I just postponed it, delayed it, didn't do it until years down the line. Nowadays, I'm looking back, it's like, I regret all those times that I should have followed my dreams, but I let other people talk me out of it. But now that I'm looking at it through this new lens, through Digimon, I'm viewing this as I'd reached a point where I couldn't really go forwards more before I stepped back. So this is me stepping back, de-digi-evolving into a uh, state that I was in before, so that I can get stronger, get more experience, and then push forward even stronger and more mature than previously. I hope y'all will join me on this journey, and well, I'm still going to be having game footage on these channels because that's what I love doing. But if you want more of this kind of topic, let me know. If I need to have a separate channel specifically dedicated to this, let me know. I'll I'll do it. But that's all that I really have to say about this right now. I wish all the best of luck in your ventures, and just remember, keep it classy.